The Balochistan rebels are bleeding the Pakistani force. The police stations are now under attack. After demanding a complete removal of Pakistani forces from the region, these videos are being circulated on the social media. Shocking videos of attacks on Sharif and Muni's men in Balochistan have gone viral. On August 20, reportedly, police stations in Pashin and Sarahanan were bombed. Videos emerged claiming that Baloch rebels took over one of the key police stations. The rebels also reportedly seized the weapon from inside the police station. Reports also suggest that rebels did not stop there. More police stations were attacked. On the other hand, Pakistani forces counter-operation are also continuing. Operation Radul Fitna 3 has been launched. And on August 20, 5 rebels were killed in the Kili Suran area. Balochistan continues to burn. The BLA is giving tough time to the Pakistani security forces. The calls for separation have grown louder in the Pakistani province. The rebels have united and have given a 1971 reminder to the Pakistani government. Balochistan separatist leader Mir Yar Baloch has issued a fresh statement, an ultimatum for Islamabad's top authorities. He has demanded a complete withdrawal of the Pakistani security forces in the region. Mir Yar Baloch calls Balochistan a separate country. He claims that the Pakistani army is illegally stationed in the province and is looting its resources and minerals at gunpoint, consistently posing a threat to lives and properties of the local population. Well, the 1971 threat referred to the formation of Bangladesh, when around 93,000 Pakistani military personnel surrendered unconditionally to the Indian forces. Baloch wrote, just as in 1971, after losing the war in Bangladesh, Pakistan handed over the naval, air and land forces and war equipment there to the forces of Bangladesh. In exactly the same manner, the occupying forces of Pakistan must now clearly announce the date and deadline for their withdrawal from Balochistan, and they will not be permitted to take even a single bullet while leaving Balochistan. He has also demanded that military hardware be left behind during the withdrawal. The list includes tanks, aircraft and heavy weapons. The statement further calls for naval and military equipment to be handed over. Mir Yar Baloch has also warned that if Pakistani forces remain in the region, there could be further bloodshed. The BLA claims that it carried out 22 attacks between August 9th and August 15th, and 26 Pakistani personnel were killed in these attacks. But these figures have not been independently verified, and Pakistani authorities have not fully addressed the claim. Tensions persist in Balochistan. Just a day after Balochistan celebrated its Independence Day, Pakistan Air Force bombed Surab town of the province. Some reports claim that around 30 people were killed in the attack. It was claimed that unarmed women and children were targeted. The Baloch activists have drawn global attention over Pakistan's brutality in the region. The outrage against the Pakistani government is visible. Videos went viral on the internet. Amid calls for freedoms, some Balochistan residents burned the Pakistani flag. Well, this happened around 14th August, when the country celebrates its Independence Day. But the rebels in Balochistan observed it as a black day. This particular video from Balochistan has gone viral on the internet. Mir Yar Baloch shared the video of Hinglaj Mata Mandir, lovingly known as among the Baloch as Nani Ka Mandir, a sacred place where hundreds of thousands of devotees come every year to seek the blessings of Ma Bhavani. It is an ancient Hindu shrine deep inside Balochistan. Hindu pilgrims travel across rugged landscapes, and the place is honored as the sacred Shakti Peeth. There's a subtle messaging behind these videos posted by the rebels, a clear signal for the failed regime of Shahbaz Sharif. Now, every year on August 11, Baloch rebel groups mark what they call Balochistan's Independence Day. While Pakistan celebrates its Independence Day on August 14th, many Baloch activists argue that their homeland had already attained a separate status before Pakistan came into existence. For them, August 11 is not just a symbolic date. It signifies that Balochistan was an independent entity who later incorporated into Pakistan remains disputed. This fight for justice lies at the heart of one of South Asia's longest-running conflict. Well, Balochistan is Pakistan's largest province by area, accounting for nearly 44% of country's landmass. Yet it remains among its least developed regions despite possessing vast reserves of natural gas, copper, gold and other minerals. Well, many Baloch rebels group argue that province's natural wealth has disproportionately benefited the Pakistani government, while local communities continue to face poverty, unemployment and inadequate infrastructure. In fact, the development of the Gawad Port, a flagship project under the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor or the CPEC, has further intensified these debates. Critics argue that locals have not received proportional economic benefits, while Islamabad maintains that such projects are designed to bring long-term prosperity and development to the region. Today, Balochistan continues to be one of Pakistan's biggest security nightmares. Recent years have seen attacks by rebel groups targeting Pakistani security forces, infrastructure, and at times Chinese interest linked to CPEC projects. Pakistan has designated several of these organizations as terrorist groups and says its security operations are aimed at protecting civilians and maintaining national security. Well, alongside the armed conflict, human rights organizations and Baloch activists have repeatedly alleged enforced disappearances, arbitrary arrests, and restriction on political activities. Families of missing persons have organized protests demanding information about their relatives. Pakistani authorities have denied allegations of systematic abuse, stating that security operations are conducted within the framework of the law and are necessary to combat militancy. But in the end, the region is suffering and its people are at the receiving end. With the situation going out of control, now the question is, will Sharif really look inwards and try to save crumbling Pakistan?